This is a Rivalry Week edition of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson.
Dante Moore snapping back to throw. Steps up, throws toward the end zone. Sadiq's got it for the touchdown.
Brought to you by Roto-Rooter, the experts in plumbing, drains, and water cleanup. Oregon versus Oregon State.
We don't need any extra motivation to come in and want to whoop your ass.
It's Rivalry Week on the Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, and the Odyssey app.
Hey, hey, hey! Happy Monday. It is a rivalry week indeed. The mighty Beavers of Oregon State traveling to Autzen Stadium just down the road to get whooped. It should be a fun one. I hope you're excited.
For one side.
Well, might be the last one for a while, so savor
That's
it.
unfortunate.
Well, listen, the Ducks did not dominate at Northwestern, so
No, they did not.
if you could, well, I was going to say if you could bring in a lake, but I guess you're playing on the road, so there's not much you can do about it. It was a beautiful setting. Did you
Yeah.
enjoy watching that game?
Yeah,
It kind of
absolutely.
looked cool.
Yeah, it looks cool with the lake back there in
But,
the background. And yeah.
that was just such a wah.
yeah,
I'm like, all right. Like, at least when Oregon was killing Oklahoma State, it was like one team looks great.
yes,
That was just kind of a big nothing burger.
Yeah.
And anybody that's upset about Oregon dropping in the rankings because of it, I wouldn't worry about it. Those are all imaginary numbers. I
Yeah.
think we're fine.
which is why Notre Dame is 0-2 and still 24th ranked in the country.
No, well,
I know they lost to two ranked teams.
my brother made me a bet that they'll still make the playoff.
yeah, they,
And I'm
they
not,
were,
and
they
I'm
were
not
talking
super
about that.
confident in it.
Yeah, already old Patrick and Danny. They were talking about that this morning too.
Yeah, well, watch it. The only other game on their schedule is USC of really any consequence. So my problem with that is they're not going to get a top 25 win. I mean, I know they'll probably win out,
Right.
but unless USC is undefeated when they get there, because I think USC has to play somebody of consequence right before that. They play Michigan. I think USC goes Michigan, then Notre Dame, but I don't know how good Michigan is.
Right.
You buying that they'll play another ranked team the rest of the year? If the committee puts them in with their losing their only two ranked games, boy, that'd be just a ugh.
Right.
Ugh.
Ugh.
All right. Well, we have to pretend to get excited about Rivalry Week all week, so that should be fun. Would you be upset if they stopped playing?
I think they should continue playing it.
I would totally agree.
Yeah.
I would totally agree. I'm not excited for this game, but it should be on the schedule every year. And
Yes.
it's partly because Oregon State has started poorly.
Mhm.
They have a coach that has negative personality, both a negative personality and the lack and void of where a personality should be.
Yes.
So
They're
it's like
just a tire fire.
things are not great in Corvallis. Things are going better in Eugene. That I understand. But can we at least keep the thing going? I mean, I know Oregon already, did they move off Utah State earlier this year where they said, hey, sorry, we're just not going to play those games? I assume they're trying to make room for that. Do you remember?
With Utah?
I thought it was Utah State.
Utah State? Well, yeah.
They had a home and away or something, and they went, yeah, we're not going to play those.
Gotcha.
So they said that earlier. Those games are like 2028 or whatever
Yeah.
it is. But Oregon should be able to make room for Oregon State in the schedule. And if there's somebody that's upset about it, Oregon just throw them like a bag of cash and be like, yeah, why don't you shut up about it? Not playing Portland State next year.
Right. Please.
If we could, I'd much rather see Oregon State
Yeah.
than your FCS opponent. And if you need to give them some money, I'm sure we can afford it.
Yes.
Dude, who makes more money when Oregon plays an FCS school? The school or the starting quarterback for Oregon? I mean, it's kind of a joke, but it's kind of not.
Valid point.
I
Valid
mean,
point.
I think that would be something to look into. So yeah, if we have to throw a little NIL money their direction and just be like, sorry, we don't want to bother playing with you, fine, let's move on from that. Is that fair?
Yeah.
How was your weekend? I was going to ask you,
Not
but
too
then I
bad.
didn't because we had the new open. And
Yeah.
all the timing's off and everything's.
Well, yeah.
We'll get there. By the time we get to Friday, we'll have it all figured out, and then Monday it'll be screwed up.
Yeah. Saturday, my timing was all jacked up because I was in here for a Ducks game day at 6 a.m. and then
Would you rather be here at 6 a.m. or here at 1 o'clock for a late game?
yeah, well,
Which one's more disruptive to your day?
I like sleep.
I understand that, but
So then I got home about-
you also don't like coming in
Well, there's that.
to do the show either.
Right.
So you were done by 9 a.m.
I was home at 10.
Okay.
Stopped at Krispy Kreme, got some donuts for the kids.
So
Sat down and then and then I fell asleep for like 3 hours.
You
Woke
still
up
got
with-
your sleep.
Yeah, woke up with like no idea what time it was. What day is it?
That's a pretty good feeling.
Right?
How was your Sunday? Did you
Sunday
enjoy
was
your
fine.
Sunday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I'll tell you, Sunday, we got some good football. We got a lot of games. Looking back at the weekend, there were a lot of games in the NFL that I was like, oh, yeah, that was played too.
Yes.
I didn't even check the scores on them yesterday. I was just like, whatever. I do not care. Did the 49ers win? I don't know. Let me check.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, they did. So there are a couple things that I can report from Sunday. One of which is the NFC West
Mhm.
is now 7-1, and there is the only one loss is a division game.
Yeah.
And that was the Seahawks losing to the 49ers last week. The Rams are undefeated. The Cardinals are undefeated. The 49ers are undefeated. The Seahawks go and win on the road in Pittsburgh, so they are undefeated outside of their own division.
Yes.
So the
Who would've seen that
very
coming from
winnable
the-
division. Well,
Yeah.
we can look at some of their opponents.
No, I just meant from like the NFC West in general.
No, I understand
Yeah.
that, but now two of those games are against the Saints.
Well.
The Titans have been beaten by the division. The
You can only play the games that they put in front of you.
I totally understand. I'm just getting the arguments that somebody would have against me. I'm
Yes.
bringing it up because it is, the Seahawks are in last place in their division and maybe have the best win
Yeah.
playing a playoff team, somebody that won in week 1. So it's very interesting to see. I think the biggest highlight for me from yesterday, did you get a chance to watch much of the finish between the Cowboys and the Giants?
That was wild.
It was absolutely insane. So let me see if I can get some of the statistics for you from this game, just so that you'll have it. So the Giants, let's see, the two teams combined for 5 consecutive go-ahead touchdowns in the final 12 minutes of the fourth quarter and overtime. That ties an NFL record. Your kicker, Brandon Aubrey, who just made a 64-yarder that looked like it could have been made from 74 yards, is the first player in NFL history to hit a game-tying field goal as time expired in regulation, and a game-winning field goal as time expired, a game-tying field goal in regulation, and a game-winning field goal as time expired in overtime. So guys have made winning field goals in overtime and tied the game at the end of regulation, but both as time expired. That is the first time that has ever happened. The Giants, fun Giants fact, other than just watching that is a great reminder why you don't want Russell Wilson on your team, but also a great reminder why you do want Russell Wilson on your team, followed by a great reminder why you don't want Russell Wilson, followed by Russell Wilson. Whew. The Giants were flagged 14 times for 160 yards, which is the most penalty yardage since 1947.
Wow.
I have that according to the Associated Press, dug that up for me, so I find it somewhat reliable. The Giants' single drive that covered 110 yards but ended in a field goal because of 60 yards in penalties. So they gained 110 yards on a drive that ended in a field goal because they had negative 60 yards.
Wow. That's
And the one that Giants fans don't want to hear, the Cowboys have now won 9 consecutive games against the Giants, which is the longest active streak in the NFL among division opponents. So there you have that game, which was just absolutely fun. There are a couple other ones worth noting. Joe Burrow is going to be out for 3 months, which is not great. Jake Browning came in as the backup quarterback, threw 3 interceptions, but also threw the game-winning touchdown with 18 seconds left. So how fun is that?
yeah.
So-
Not much if you're a Jags fan.
Well, are you a Jags fan? Did you pay close attention to that game?
As much as I could on Red Zone.
Okay. Oh, okay. So through Red Zone.
I have the Red Zone on.
Can we just start building the Jamar Chase statue right now in Cincinnati? 14 receptions for 165 yards.
Is that good? He had as many catches and yards as the Giants had penalties and penalty yards.
That is actually true. It's his 20th career 100-yard receiving game so far. How long has he been in the league?
4 years?
4 years. 4 years. And the win was the 250th home victory for the Bengals, both in regular and postseason. So 250 wins for the Bengals. A franchise you don't think of as a winning franchise.
No.
But there you go. I don't know if that's a good number or not. But with that, also want to point out that the Lions are not dead. They have been revived.
Yeah, they went full Undertaker meme there, didn't they?
Man, they came and just put an absolute beat down on the Bears. 52 points, the most they've scored since 2017. Jared Goff tied a career high with 5 touchdown passes, perfect passer rating. Caleb Williams did not look like he's going to win the MVP.
No.
Just, yeah. So
that one is far off in the distance.
Man, it's crazy. The NFL, I don't know when you check in and realize who's good and who's bad. The game that illustrated that the most to me this weekend was Colts Broncos. That's a proper response.
Yeah.
I feel like that is exactly the response that you need to have.
Are the Colts good?
Are the Broncos terrible? I mean, you tell me. What's the case? The Broncos are the worst team in the division by a lot, or the Colts are one of the best teams in the AFC. But they're 2-0. Danny Dimes is leading the way. I made a joke and made you read it that you were going to make him the next Peyton Manning, and you read it begrudgingly and threw me under the bus immediately. But I put it into one of the setups, and here he is, 2-0. We'll see if that continues.
Yeah.
But before we get to any more stories, we need to throw in some punchlines here, if we should. Story came out that Shedeur Sanders reportedly declined to be drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. First, are you allowed to do that? Like, just be a 5th-round pick and be like, thanks, but no thanks?
Right.
Apparently, he said that he preferred to go to a team where he could compete for a starting quarterback role rather than sit behind Lamar Jackson. Smart, you'd hate to sit behind a guy that has 2 MVPs and learn from him, or somebody that has missed multiple playoff starts because of injury. You can really tell that Shedeur is a student of the game. Smart. Right now, he's not even getting scout team reps. That story came out last week. We didn't have time to get to it. Apparently, they're just having him sit and watch other than give the other team a look at what their opponent might look like. Things are just absolutely bad. Moving to the world of golf, John Daly set an unwanted PGA Tour Championship record by scoring a 19 on a par 5 at Sanford International, surpassing his previous worst score on a hole. No punchline here. I just wanted to point that out for any golfer that can't break 90. John Daly still shot an 88 on the round. According to the internet, 74% of golfers cannot break 90, so there's one more reason to hate John Daly.
What are you doing on that computer?
Athletics rookie. Yes, athletics. No town. Nick Kurtz, one of our favorites here on Happy Hour, hit a 493-foot grand slam, reportedly the longest home run of the season. It would have been awesome to see, but unfortunately the game was played on a sandlot in Sacramento, so it just disappeared into the night. It's actually worth watching because it does. It's still going up when it leaves like the lights in Sacramento, just flying. The real bummer is you didn't get to see the ball flight. More amazingly, the ball actually caught by Sasquatch, but it's in the dark, so you can't see it. Carolina Panthers wide receiver Xavier Legette made an unwanted NFL record by recording -2 receiving yards on 8 targets in his team's loss to the Cardinals. Bad game, sure, but at least it was one of the great teams in the NFL beating you in the Arizona Cardinals. I know I said that the Dolphins wouldn't win a game this year, but do we know if they play the Panthers? Is that something we can check? Jeez. Who finishes with the worst record in the NFL? Dolphins or Panthers? If you had to pick right now.
The funny thing is typically in situations like that, you say, well, somebody's got to win the game. No,
they don't. In the NFL, they could tie, and that would put the Dolphins and the Panthers as like tied for the worst record ever. So you had that extra tie in there. Because you had the Lions and the Buccaneers both go 0-16. Am I missing anybody?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, so if you can throw them in there, that'd be a good way to do it. You wouldn't set the record. All right, we move on to the Daily Buzz. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
Top headlines, trending topics, and trivial matters that got our attention. It's the Daily Buzz on the Fan Happy Hour.
The Buzz.
Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
All right, we start with the Seattle Mariners, or should I say, the red-hot Seattle Mariners and Vetter Cup champions are now on a 9-game win streak. The Mariners, for their first time in franchise history, 7-0 on a 7-game homestand. Now, in
They've
fairness,
never done that?
well, but 7-game. How often do you get a 7-game homestand? So they win 3 against the Cardinals, win 3 against the Angels. Not the best teams in baseball, but you do that after coming off of 2 victories in Atlanta to finish up the last road trip, which did not go well.
Right.
The last 2 have not gone well, but that's exactly what you needed. And it's so funny because watching the American League race has been really kind of interesting because when the Mariners were playing terrible, so was everybody else.
Yeah.
The Rangers couldn't win, the Red Sox couldn't win, the Astros couldn't win, and now the Mariners have gone absolutely scorched earth on their inferior opponents. Kind of so is everybody else. So right now you've got the Mariners with a 1-game lead over the Astros, who will be in action tonight. The Mariners idle. The Texas Rangers are only 3 games back. They are also going to be idle tonight. So it was a very fun weekend, but one of the big highlights was this one right here.
Off the end of the bat, but shot deep. Does it have enough? It's gone! Home run number 54. Cal Raleigh stands alongside yet another all-time legend. Tied with Mickey Mantle for the most home runs ever in a single season by a switch hitter.
That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. Yes.
The first thing I said to my brother when I saw him on we over at his house for the Sunday night game, first thing I said, I go, did you have Cal Raleigh tying Mickey Mantle on your Mariners bingo card?
In any capacity.
Dude, like this has been one of those seasons, and we talked about this when this show first started. There's all of these records that, you know, are slowly being chased. You pass guys like Johnny Bench, and you pass Salvador Perez, and you pass 40, and you pass 50, and you pass, you know, all of these different check marks that Cal Raleigh has done along the year. You get to Mickey Mantle. Next is Ken Griffey Jr. for the Mariners record with 56. He did it twice. But if you can get to those records, this has been one of those summers where you just get kind of drawn into everything that's happening in Seattle. And I think there's a lot of people around the country, when you hear national baseball writers mention the Seattle Mariners, they are excited and think they could be a contender for the World Series. We said when this show first aired that if the Mariners cannot make the playoffs and waste this run that Cal Raleigh is on, it will be one of the biggest tragedies. There are 12 games left.
12 games left.
I am not pretending that they have sealed up anything, and just because they make the playoffs doesn't mean they win in the playoffs. But I was talking with Dirt and Sprague when they got off the air this morning. They had a little poll question. Were you more excited about the Mariners and Cal Raleigh's 54th home run this weekend, or the Seahawks getting a win in Pittsburgh? I'm a fan of both teams. I have to say that the Mariners are, in my opinion, by far more exciting this weekend. A lot of reasons for it. Tying Mickey Mantle is one of them.
Yes.
That is big. The slump the Mariners went on that turned into a 9-game winning streak is another one. Just so being on this roller coaster ride. The drought from winning an AL West title, the kind of following it every day because of the way this Mariners team has played and because of what Cal has done. It has made me an everyday viewer of Mariners baseball. And I'm not always that way this time of year.
Right.
For a lot of reasons. But even when they're in the chase, because the last couple of years they've been in the chase and closely missed the playoffs. This one just feels very different. You are an outside observer. You in on that at all?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm rooting for him. I'm not catching a bunch of the games. I'm watching about as much baseball as I usually do, which is not much. But we do have, remember what Jerry DiPoto's favorite number is in Seattle?
54%.
And in the middle of their 9-game win streak, their win percentage now sits at 547.
5:47. Let's go. So Mariners have 3 at Kansas City starting tomorrow. Then they will go to Houston without a break. They come home.
Crucial.
They come home and right now it's 5-5 in the season series. They play 13 games. You just have to win that series. You don't have to sweep.
Right.
But you need a series victory against Kansas City. You need a series victory against Houston.
Absolutely.
You come home to play the Colorado Rockies and the Los Angeles Dodgers to finish out your season.
Well, why don't we
And
just go ahead and make this?
Please go ahead.
Why don't we just go ahead and finish off and make this a 21-game win streak to end the season?
You know what? I would be.
Is that too much to ask?
I would be perfectly fine with that. The question I would have is, can you keep that going even longer? And
Right.
how many games do you need to win in a row to put yourself into the World Series? Because I said if they make the World Series, they would be the last team in baseball to have never made the World Series. If they make it and get swept by the Phillies, that's the best season they've ever had.
Yeah.
If they make it in and just get absolutely obliterated by the Dodgers or the Brewers or whoever it is, if they make it to it's already the best season that they ever have. And this is a team that has the best regular season record of all time. But to win the American League pennant would be just outstanding.
Well, and just think of it this way too, and not to put a curse on this or anything.
Well,
but
listen, I've already put enough
Yeah.
curses on it. I'm fine with it.
There we go.
You can't jinx the jinxed.
imagine if it were a Seattle versus Dodgers World Series, how much everybody on the East Coast would not stop bitching.
That would be a big up yours to the East Coast, which I would be okay with. The other one that would be really fun is Seattle-Milwaukee. Is, what? Forget anybody south of that would be like as far northwest as you could get a championship.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, not to
Milwaukee.
mention, the Milwaukee Brewers and Bud Selig ripped the old Seattle Pilots out of
Yep,
Seattle.
exactly. Yep. So it'd be
you know,
Pilots
vengeance
versus
is
Mariners.
sweet.
Yeah. So listen, all the
55
things,
years later.
all the things that lead to the Mariners in the World Series. I don't care who their opponent is. I don't care what day the games are being played. I honestly probably don't care what the tickets cost. I think I'm probably trying to go to one of those home games.
Right.
And I feel like they're going to be very expensive. So
Yes,
again,
especially that season-ending Dodgers series.
well, I'm there for that already.
Yeah.
I'm already there on the Sunday of the final game, and I'm asking the Mariners, please do not make that the win and you're in, lose and you're out game.
Yeah.
And I don't know how close the NL West is going to be. I think I've made that plea enough, but all I know is right now, they are hot.
The Buzz.
Don't Jeff this up, Seattle.
Now, speaking of Seattle, the Seahawks get a 31-17 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Only the third time ever the Seahawks have won in Pittsburgh. One of the most critical plays in that game, if you didn't watch, was a very bizarre one. Does not happen very often that you score a touchdown when you're the team kicking off the ball, but that's exactly what happened when the Steelers rookie Caleb Johnson let the ball bounce over his head into the end zone, and it stopped just short of the end line. George Holani jumped on it.
Yeah.
And were you watching that live?
It's one of those. It's like, wait, what did I just see? What happened?
That is exactly what happened to me.
It's like I think I looked away just the wrong moment and wait, what?
We had family over and friends over, and we were kind of half watching the game. Like it was getting interesting. So in the second half, the Steelers got way outplayed by the Seahawks. Both of the picks that were thrown by Sam Darnold were in the first half. So the second half, you're like, okay, the defense has been playing well. You've had some mistakes. You've had all of that. That was definitely one of those that you just kind of looked at and went, what just happened? It wasn't the deciding factor in the game. The Seahawks looked better in all three phases. That obviously looks very good for the special teams unit that missed a field goal. But the Seahawks outgained the Steelers 395 yards to 267. Aaron Rodgers looked nearly perfect last week, 2 picks this week. DK Metcalf, non-factor, dropping balls, had just 3 catches for 20 yards. So I think it was a good victory all the way around, but I don't think any of it could eclipse what the Mariners have been doing.
No, not yet.
I'm sorry, the Mariners have been doing. They're weak. So, my apologies for that. With that, let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk and see what we missed.
This is a Rivalry Week edition of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson, brought to you by Roto-Rooter. Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This
That was
update,
intense.
Yeah, right. This update is brought to you by Langdon Farms Golf Club. Good or bad weather, the golf course always the driest around. Download the Langdon Farms app today to get all the latest news and specials. Well, Mr. Anderson,
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, J.J. McCarthy, Brock Purdy, Jaden Daniels, Justin Fields, all hurt. We're
Yeah.
not even through week 2 yet. Those guys either will or could miss some time. In week 3, we'll get Carson Wentz starting for the Vikings against Jake Browning and the Bengals. Is it time to cover our eyes yet?
No, but it does remind me of the story that we talked about last week very briefly. Derek Carr goes, "Hey guys, if anybody needs, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here." I'm wondering who the first team is to just throw up a flare and start signing somebody out there.
Right.
Jake Browning played well when he was the replacement for Joe Burrow a couple years ago, so I don't think it's going to be there. Carson Wentz is a guy that had an MVP-looking season before he got hurt, and the Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. So I think there's some guys out there that are really going to have an opportunity to go, hey, Sam Darnold's done it. Geno Smith has done it.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield has done it. There's a lot of guys that have had resurgent careers in the NFL. So right now, I'm going to reserve judgment on this and go, hey, who's looking for a starting job next year? Because I think that's one of the better things about the recent NFL.
More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rest from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. It's Monday on the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson. This is The Tape Don't Lie, where Luke answers for the dumbest things he said last week.
Wasn't he the white Jordan?
He is black.
Good luck, man.
Thank you. I'm a genius.
I suppose that's fair. And it'll probably be on everybody's TV in that late window, so it should be good. I'm going to go Chiefs. I think there's a bounce back. I mentioned this early in the week. Daniel Jeremiah was at the game in Brazil, said Patrick Mahomes looked faster than he'd ever seen him, looked fitter, looked better, even though they lost to the Chargers.
Well, Luke, there you are.
That's me.
Incorrectly picking the Chiefs over the Eagles. The Chiefs now lost 3 consecutive games for the first time in the Pat Mahomes era. Do they end their skid against the Giants next week on Sunday Night Football against Danny Dimes? No, I'm sorry, not Danny Dimes, against Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, the best quarterback in big moments until he's not. That was a little back and forth swing that he had in just, half a quarter and overtime. Boy, I mean, that throw to Malik Neighbors down the middle was just so perfect. And then the one he threw to the Cowboys defense was just as bad. So it's pretty funny to watch Russell Wilson. I still have faith in the Chiefs. But the problem is that Pat Mahomes did look faster. I don't think I was wrong about that. Yeah. He was running the ball well. He's their entire offense is really what the trouble is.
Travis Kelce not looking good.
Well, handing the ball to the other team is a mistake. Anytime that they throw it to you and you go, I don't want to catch it, but if I can set it in a linebacker's hand or a safety's hand, I'm not sure who he handed it to, you can probably try to avoid that. But it's like Patrick Mahomes running for his life, and then he can break out, and he does look pretty good. So I will say yes, the Chiefs will start to get on the right path. I think the Chargers are the new favorite in that division, though. So I very much look forward to seeing what the rest of the season looks like, but they'll at least get a win next week.
Falcons, Vikings. You know what? I'm going to go home team. I'm going to go with the Falcons and with the Vikings. Falcons are probably going to get better this year, but I don't think that they're going to get better that quickly.
Well, Mr. Anderson, first you didn't know where the game was being played, and when you figured it out, you picked the game wrong. Will the Vikings look better next week without J.J. McCarthy and under Carson Wentz?
Probably. I mean, I hate to say it. J.J. McCarthy did not look like he was ready for an NFL game. It was, to me, just one of those things where in the pregame interview, he's saying all the right things, and you're feeling the confidence, and you have the home crowd, you go out there, and it just kind of looked lost. I mean, it was a very good pass rush for the Falcons. They went out and did everything they could to improve their pass rush. They drafted 2 edge rushers. They signed another, and they went out and go, we're going to try to hurt other teams' quarterbacks. And I don't know what the final numbers were, but at one point it was Bijan Robinson 168 yards and the Minnesota Vikings 164 yards. So that is never really a good sign. Vikings next week are hosting the Bengals. So as you mentioned, Jake Browning at Carson Wentz. Big moment for Carson Wentz, right? Go out and go, hey, we've got a good team around it. If you get to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, it feels like that's a pretty good spot to be in as a backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. And the question is, if you have extended time missed by J.J. McCarthy, will they stick with somebody that can win football games? So Carson Wentz has a big opportunity. I think they will look better with that.
They are the only team ever to go 14-0, undefeated, win a Super Bowl. Congratulations, Dolphins. You're about to go 0-16. This is going to
17.
be... Oh, you're right. Well, they have to go 0-16 to go 0-17.
Well,
Don't
sure,
be
yes.
stupid.
Yeah.
They might get a game at the end of the year where the other team doesn't care.
He's laughing at
You have
me.
to lose 16 before you can lose 17. Russ.
Fair enough.
There you are, not knowing how many games are in an NFL season currently. Do you still think the Dolphins won't win? They did put up 27 points.
So here's what I checked. Week 5 at the Carolina Panthers. That is a October 5th game, 10 a.m. on Fox. So okay. I think the Dolphins are terrible. They've got the Bills on Thursday night this week. That will be a loss. They have the Jets, who might have Tyrod Taylor starting at quarterback, depending on how Justin Fields is, at Panthers. And then they are hosting the Chargers at Browns, Falcons, Ravens, Bills again, Commanders, Saints hosting the Saints. Get another one against the Jets. There are 3 games on there that I legitimately do not know. And they get to play the Patriots again to finish the season. So honestly, I think there are enough bad teams on that schedule. Again, you got the Jets twice, Patriots again, at the Panthers, home against the Saints. Yeah, I think they probably do win a game, unfortunately. So I still think they're terrible, though. But they will win a game this year.
I know you don't want to hear about it, but guess what? Pretty nice day for a guy named Mike Judge yesterday. So Mike Judge. Aaron Judge? Aaron Judge. Why am I saying Mike Judge? Boy, my brain.
The laughing in the
That
background.
voice is Jeff Tate sitting in there. You broke
just
him. I
cackling.
did. Comedian. He'll be in next segment to make fun of me.
That is two different Jeffs laughing at me in
Yes.
that clip. Here's the thing about
Mike
that.
Judge, really?
Well, okay. Here's the funny thing about that whole thing is I read most of the stuff that I say on but I only half read it. Like I'm like,
Right.
oh, I wrote this earlier. I don't have to. So you'll catch me in saying a lot of stupid things because I'm only half paying attention to the notes I have. I'm still working. I'm still refining my technique for doing this.
Yeah.
So we've got Jeff Tate. If you haven't heard that interview, he's really funny and he's got a great story about watching Kirk Gibson hit a home run last week because that's what he does. He was really funny. He walks in, so I'm trying to get through the Daily Buzz, and I'm trying to like keep the pace so we can get to the interview a little bit quicker. I had just seen Mike Judge in something as an actor, and so I'm thinking of the Beavis and Butthead guy.
Mm-hmm.
The funniest part was he's laughing at me during that, and in the break he goes, I just realized that Mike Judge is the Beavis and Butthead guy. And I go, yeah, I thought that's why you're laughing at me. He goes, no, I thought you mixed up Mike Trout and Aaron Judge and like put them together as an amalgam. And I was like, no, it was just me. Like Mike Judge is one of my favorites anyways.
Yeah.
Office Space, Idiocracy, Beavis and Butthead. He shows up in things from time to time. So anyways, it got us into the whole conversation, but it was funny. He was laughing at me for an entirely different reason and just me being stupid. So, sometimes you say the wrong thing. What are you going to do?
New flavored cookie called Explore Mores. In 2026, this is designed to taste like Rocky Road ice cream. It will incorporate marshmallow, chocolate, and almond cream components.
That's where I call BS.
What?
Almond is not Rocky Road. Rocky Road is like peanuts.
You just complimented every flavor except the 2 that they're getting rid of.
They ruined Rocky Road. Rocky Road, almond is not Rocky Road.
Okay, listen. They designed something to taste similar to Rocky Road.
I don't care, I hate it.
If it doesn't hit it right on the nose.
10 toes down, I hate it.
10 toes down.
Rocky Road?
All right, Mr. Russ, this is more for you.
Yeah.
You were furious. The Girl Scouts are making a new cookie, and you poo-pooed everything that they were doing, but then you did a little research. I give you the floor, young man.
Yeah, I was dead wrong on the Rocky Road. Dead wrong. I think it started out with walnuts and then later moved on into almonds.
Which is a good upgrade, because
Yeah.
walnuts, meh.
meh.
Yeah.
But I legitimately my entire life until that day, 49 years old plus, a month or so, and I always associated peanuts with Rocky Road. It was my own little WKRP in Cincinnati moment.
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Listen, we all make mistakes on this show. We have to answer for them. So thank you for your apology on that. To the Girl Scouts, would you like to make a formal apology to the Girl Scouts?
Well, I'm still not a fan of the almond flavoring and stuff, but I don't dig on almonds. They're not my thing.
All right. So you're not going to apologize for you laying back 10 toes down to the Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
You keep sticking with
I
it?
won't like that cookie.
All right. Well, at least you admitted you were wrong. So, hey,
we go.
there's something. We get one more for the road. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
Relax, hot shot.
Welcome back to the Fan Happy Hour. We're about to wrap things up.
Maybe you guys like what I have so far?
Wicked woman, cool creams and misters. You got a good spell on me.
Let's grab one more for the road.
Come on, everybody. Everything's smooth.
Here's Luke Anderson.
All right, Mr. Russ, what are the people saying about this fine program so far?
Alex on the YouTube chat. Utah, give me 2.
Utah? Give me 2. Oh, because your stupid shirt.
Yeah, featuring old, I believe, Ohio State quarterback Jonathan Utah.
That is correct. That's how I remember it.
Yes.
Point Break.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Rufio also on there. You want to hear a fired up Jeff Rust talk Girl Scout cookies?
Well, amen to that.
He's not wrong.
Let's be honest. I mean, get you all riled up. Speaking of picking games and Rufio, it can get a little bit heated tonight. There is a 3-way tie at the top. 2 previous winners, Deal, Cyrus, and Rufio all have 13 wins so far in our little pick'em.
Oh, wow.
So it will be settled tonight. I believe Rufio is the only one that picked the Texans tonight. Everybody taking the Chargers over the Raiders. So that is the only game that will settle anything. Nobody can catch up from behind because everybody with 12 wins already picked the Chargers as well. So there is what's going on with the pick'em. Anything else that we missed there?
Yeah, let's see here. From earlier on in the show, I had the Cowboys as my survivor pick. Talk about a roller coaster ride.
Oh, jeez, how bad, dude. You okay? Did you make it into work today? Holy hamburgers. Yeah, that game was an absolute mess, but it was fun. Yeah. Fun to watch, and that's what you want, because the game, it went into that game, and my kids are starting to kind of float around when I'm watching sports in general. And usually I will put it on low or no volume, depending on who's in the house. And if it's just me, my wife, and the kids, I put it on no volume and the game's on, and I'll keep an eye on it. But I'm very easily distracted from the game on purpose. But the girls will come in and they'll be like, "Oh, who are you rooting for?" And it's the Cowboys Giants. I'm like, nobody. I'm not rooting for anybody. I go, I guess the team with the ball last. And boy, was I dead right on that, because I switched over and it's boom, 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 boom. So it was a fun one to watch. Anything else we need to get to?
I think we're good there.
All right. Well, then let's do one for the road. That's kind of a lie. 2 for the road. You have 2 Monday night football games tonight. I don't know who I picked in either of these games, but just looking for some oddities in the game. Did you know that the Buccaneers have never won in Houston? They are 0-7 all-time in Houston against both the Oilers and the Texans.
Yeah.
According to their own website, thebuccaneers.com. The Texans have won their last 5 games against the Buccaneers, a streak that goes back to 2007. In the last meeting, C.J. Stroud threw for 470 yards.
Is that good?
5 touchdowns in a 39-37 win over the Texans. That was back in 2023.
Now, I might also just be pulling this out of my arse.
Oh, please do.
But I believe that 470 yards is a rookie passing record.
That sounds like it probably could be. That is a whole lot of yards. But yeah, that was what happened last time. A couple guys to watch. Mike Evans, who grew up near Houston, has only 1 touchdown in 2 games and has reported to having his heart broken by not beating them. So he wants to go and get a victory. His whole family will be there. Nico Collins for the Texans has been awesome in those games. 13 of his 15 career touchdowns have come in Houston. So just as far as looking for somebody to play well tonight, Nico Collins is your guy. You have any feeling on this game whatsoever? I'm not sure what you picked last week, but you feeling good about either team in this game?
I think I picked the Buccaneers. Because
did that sway you at all, knowing that they can't win in Houston?
Well, that's not a great stat. It doesn't make me feel very good, no. And then in game number 2 there, I think Justin Herbert, I hope he looks as good as he did last week.
Well, in game number 2, you got Chargers, Raiders, Harbaugh versus Carroll. This will take you back to your Pac-10 days.
Oh, yeah.
The Cardinal versus the Trojans. Do you know their record head-to-head?
Ooh, pretty even?
6-6.
Hey.
6-6. So somebody's got to break it. Yeah, Justin Herbert looked great last week.
Yes.
So you feeling, but Geno looked pretty good too.
Yeah.
Do you have any faith in the Raiders whatsoever? Is it more that you think the Chargers are good, or they're playing the Raiders?
I think it's more that the Chargers are good.
Okay. Yeah. Today is also Pete Carroll's 74th birthday.
Oh, okay. Great. So Raiders are going to win then, I guess, huh?
I don't know what that means. I'm just
screwing me on both my picks with little facts over there.
Whoa. Boy, the facts aren't doing anything. It's just giving you little intriguing ones. The Raiders have won 7 of their last 8 games against the Chargers on the road. So, or I guess at home. The Raiders at home.
Yeah.
So there's something else for you. So the two teams' records all time, 69, 60, and 62. The Raiders have the advantage.
Oh, well,
yeah,
pretty even.
Yeah, it's pretty even. I don't know. This feels like a good way to end up the weekend. It should be a good one. Like I said, there's a lot of games this weekend where I just kind of afterwards I was like, oh yeah, I don't care.
Right.
But I think both of these games are a little bit compelling. So I think you've got a team. I mean, if you look at the divisions that they play in, you don't really have, I think, a favorite in either of anybody in the NFC or the AFC South, right? So the Texans have won it back-to-back years. The Colts are 2-0, so it does matter, I guess, for the Texans to go to 1-1. The Buccaneers have won their division. I mean, switching from Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield has been successful. Falcons looked pretty good last night.
Yeah.
Question mark, he says. Panthers are going to be terrible. Saints are going to be terrible. So there's a 2-horse race there. So should be interesting. Falcons are only 1-1. But the Chiefs 0-2. It's a big game now all of a sudden between the Raiders and the Chargers. So could be interesting. I think everybody I talk to, a lot of Ducks fans around here, have said that, it's a Chargers division.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
All right. Well, time will tell, but we'll see what happens. So, again, Rufio, Deal, and Cyrus, it's between the three of you for the Take Your Pick. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, everybody that plays the Pick'em. Thank you, Jeff Rust. And as always, thank you, Isaac Robb. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.
For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your scene, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow.
Hey, want to hear something great? Right now at Wendy's, you can get 2 of the